Welcome back to Studio F on Fast Time Willy B. We'll be reviewing Heretic. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell!
Welcome back to Fast Time Willy B. I'm Willy B. I got Rosie back. Rosie, how we doing?
Pretty good. Excited to be reviewing this one with you today.
So today we'll be reviewing Heretic, the latest horror film from A24. We got Brian Woods and Scott Beck in the director's chair. They did the movie 65 last year, which had bright spots, but I wouldn't say was all that great, but it's a good start. And now we get them back for this one, and I would say they definitely upped the game here.
Oh, yeah.
Cast-wise, we got Hugh Grant in kind of a new role, you know. He seems to be that rom-com king, and now he's taken on the role of the big bad in this film.
Honestly, I don't think I wouldn't knew that was him if I didn't look at the cast list prior, because it's not a very normal role for him to be playing something so
sinister,
menacing.
Yeah. We got Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East as our two sisters in this movie. Not sisters as in biological, but sisters as in the
Holy
Mormon,
sisters.
in the Mormon church, yes. But we'll start with the good, and a lot of this movie falls in the good for me.
I think so too.
First shout I want to give is the acting. I think Hugh Grant was fantastic in this role.
It was, the whole thing I thought was fabulous.
It was almost like he was playing this, you know, he's playing this guy that is into theology. He's trying to find the one true religion, and so he's very educated, and it makes him charismatic. And at the same time, he's sinister in the sense that he's using these two girls that he has now trapped into his home to show them what the one true religion is.
Right.
And just throughout the entire movie, his mannerisms, the way he delivers his lines, some of the dialogue that he's given also helps his character out a lot. But man, Hugh Grant was fantastic in this movie, and that is not to take away either from Thatcher or East. I thought they were great as well,
of course,
as our two sisters. And overall, the acting in this movie, really just, they were the big three.
Yeah, they were
the only other performances I say we get is obviously the prophecy that he brings in with the blueberry pie, and then none other than Topher Grace as the elder of the Mormon church. He has 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah,
so
maybe
it's really
not
these
even.
three that we follow along.
Yeah.
But all three of them were fantastic, especially Hugh Grant. Got to give him a shout out because he blew me away.
That's a hard role to play, I think, because you're kind of acting, but in two different ways. Because you're in a movie, so obviously you're acting, but he has to act like he isn't batshit crazy. Yeah. In the beginning, he's acting like he's a nice, educated man, and it's just, that's a hard role to play because it's double time on the acting.
Yeah. So carrying on with the good, honestly, just the story itself. This was, you don't learn a lot from the trailers with this film.
Yeah, I don't even think I seen the trailer.
Really? Okay.
Beforehand. I think this is a story I kind of wasn't, I don't know, it was kind of just a whim. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, we'll go. And I was very surprised, so. From
the trailers, you get that it's obviously going to have to deal with religion, especially with the title being Heretic.
Right.
Of course. And you get that Hugh Grant is the bad guy, and that these two girls are trapped in home. Right. So you get the basics.
Okay.
But I mean, as far as as deep as we get with religion, I didn't expect. You almost get a lesson on it, which is nice for probably for the person that may not know a lot about religion, like myself. I didn't know about the other religions that are covered as much as I know about other religions. You know what I mean?
It was deep.
And the scene that really shows that is the iteration scene, which I think is one of the best scenes in this movie.
Yeah, that really made your brain think.
Yeah, where he basically says, so Monopoly is Christianity, and then this older game called, the Landlord's Game, is the basics, the first religion, not popular, but Christianity is the popular one, it's Monopoly, and then Islam is the new one, and that's the Monopoly with the credit card.
Yeah.
And it was cool, breaking that down. He did it with music too, talking with the Hollies and Creep and Radiohead and then Lana Del Rey. So he's just, it was cool because not only is he like explaining things that maybe not a lot of people know about, but he's doing it in a charismatic way as far as his character goes.
Yeah.
And he's kind of comedic with it. And the examples he's giving, everybody knows.
Is relatable, yeah.
Yeah. You laughed because he even mentions Jar Jar Binks as comparing him almost to God.
God, and I love that because Jar Jar is such a hated character, and I love Jar Jar Binks, and
He even gives the Jar Jar Binks an impression.
I could have died. That's the best thing I've ever heard.
My favorite line in that scene is when he's like, everybody has their favorite pawn. I'm not going to say mine. Meow.
Yeah, he was... But I think his comedic kind of he was trying to like relieve the girls a little bit of like, I don't know, because this was before like everything had happened.
Yeah.
And I think throwing a little comedy in there, maybe he was trying to ease them a little bit.
Yeah.
It eased me a little bit because I was stressed out the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea what was next. I couldn't get a really good read on him, like what was happening. It was very tense, and I was very stressed out the whole time. So the comedic little tosses in there were great.
Yeah. Set design's great too. I love the look of the house, all of the different rooms, how it's set up, how he has the model that almost shows what kind of maze this house is.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. And then I personally like the ending. Basically the ending is was it Sister Barnes or Sister Paxton? Sister Paxton was the last one left. Sister P is what he called her.
Right.
Sister Barnes was at this point not with us, and he has her go down to see if she can discover. He's like, you can go downstairs and see what the one true religion is. And she goes downstairs and she goes to this little maze that she's put on, and in which she's met with him in this different room where he has all of these prophets stored away, and this is where you have the reveal that the one true religion, in his opinion, is control. And I thought that was interesting. In the way we got there was cool. I just think this was a really well done movie. Like you said, it has you on the edge of your seat. The tension is relevant throughout most of the film, and couple that with great performances and a storyline that's intriguing. I was really happy with what I watched.
My favorite part with the ending, or towards the end, is the elder is trying to come and find them, and I bunched you on the shoulder and I was like, their bikes are out front on the gate. And then you pan out and they're not there. And then you like look. It's a very. You gotta think. You have to have your thinking cap on. The entire movie, because prior you see they lock their bikes up, and Sister Barnes puts it in her coat pocket, the key for the lock in her coat pocket, and then they get their coats back, and it's in the wrong coat pocket. But like he knew to put, So it was just like
control. He controlled the entire night.
Yeah, it was wild. And then you end up. She goes through the maze down in the basement, and the very last lock is the bike lock, and that is just. And then she was like, "You knew it was gonna be me that was gonna test you." So I thought that was really cool. This is a movie you really gotta be.
I like when she like kind of recapped everything too. Like while you were gone and we were standing there waiting, you actually went to hide our bikes. That's why your hair was wet when you came back. The blueberry candle, like all of these things that were just so well thought out. And you kind of miss them as you go, but when she like explains the movie back, you're like, oh. Like, that
this
makes
is
sense.
definitely a movie you have to be, like, actually watching the entire time, or you're definitely going to miss something, and it might not make sense. But I really enjoyed the story. I hope nobody else tries to go out and do that. I hate when they try and redo it, but I thought it was fabulous.
I also like the music, whether that's the score we get or the commercialized
the actual music playing.
Between Creep by Radiohead and the Hollies and so on and so forth. We even get Hugh Grant humming and singing Creep by Radiohead, which was which was fun, you know.
Again, that comedic relief was well done by him.
And there were some jump scares / shocking things that took place that leave you with your jaw dropped.
Oh yeah.
Especially when she's about to say magic underwear, and before she can finish, he pulls out a knife. That was insane.
I think my jaw was open for like at least 10 seconds afterwards, because I was so shook.
Or when
the prophet was behind her.
That was one. I was going to say. Or when he looks like he's about to stab Sister P in the neck, and Sister Barnes is back with the 2x4.
Yeah, with nails. I knew, because they made it a point that that piece of wood had nails on it. Yeah. So I was waiting for that to be used as the story went on. But also, I'd like to say that I have no idea how they didn't catch that he didn't catch them pulling the rug to get the matches. Maybe he did and just ignored it because he was so nonchalant about them trying to light it. But nonetheless.
Yeah, very interesting movie.
Very, very, very well. The direction was fabulous.
Definitely a step up in their second film.
Oh yeah, I feel like this is a movie.
Second big film, I should say.
I feel like this movie, with poor direction, would not have hit.
No.
The way it did.
No. And writing too. I think it was written very well.
Yeah.
I think it was directed very well. Shot very well.
Everything together just made it a great movie.
There were some unique camera shots too. There was one when they're in the room talking about iteration and all of that. When he starts to get kind of creepy, they do a shot where it's basically eyebrow to bottom of the mouth of Hugh Grant. And I was like, that just makes him more, scary from a viewer standpoint. I was like, that was a really good shot.
Upside down shots.
Yeah. There were some like turnover shots that were really good. Just really good camera work altogether. And honestly, on the technical side, this was a near flawless film when it comes to the technical side.
I would agree.
Did you have anything else good that really stands out?
If I do, they'll have to think about it as we keep talking. It might be one of my final thoughts, like it usually is. Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head.
I also want to mention sound design. I think the sound design was really good. Whether it's obviously the dialogue and, capturing our actors talking, or whether that's, the doorbell or the lighting of the match, or everything was just like... Or when he blows out a candle, just really good sound.
Yeah, you can hear how scared they are, like, in their voices, too.
Yeah, it's very well edited. The movie is well edited as well. Just like I said, on the technical side, there's very little to no flaws in this movie. We could hop over to the Met. I really don't have anything. I could say maybe at times it felt like it was dragging a little bit, but even then, I feel like I was still so into it that it wasn't bothering me. I don't know. Did you have anything that really stuck out to you in the Met? I guess I do have one. I guess I do have one.
Let's hear it.
So obviously they can't make calls because of the metal in the wall. But there's a snowstorm going on outside. But in the opening scene, it didn't really look like it was winter.
I can agree with that.
And I guess there was no really big tell. Maybe I missed like empty trees or something. But like when they're biking through, I don't feel like you'd be biking through when a snowstorm's coming.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my one met is the intro, and that's the only thing that's wrong with the intro. I think the intro really establishes who these two girls are, what they're doing, and it does that really well. It establishes the film really well.
Yeah, I was also
I would say that was just maybe a little continuity thing that I'm missing.
Yeah, because at first it was rain.
Yeah.
And then, like as the movie goes on, then we get to see Beck outside and it's snowing, and I was like,
yeah.
Oh.
Sets up for a beautiful shot at the end, though.
It was nice, but I was also confused with that part, but
yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't have anything in the bad.
I don't think I would either.
So honestly. We can hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. Okay. What do you want to leave off with Heretic, and what do you give it out of 10?
I'm just gonna leave off by saying I think I usually let you guys know whether I think a movie is rewatchable or not, and I would think that this one is very rewatchable.
I think this movie
just
has
because there is so many like little things that might fly under the radar while you're watching that do lead to the bigger picture of the movie. So I'm excited to get a rewatch when we see it or get it on Blu-ray, I'm sure, eventually. Yeah. So it'll be nice to kind of put some puzzle pieces back together that maybe we missed.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give Heretic a 9.5.
Okay. For me, I'm in the same boat. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10 for Heretic. Yeah, I mean, what a movie. A pleasant surprise, because I didn't know what to expect when I saw the trailer the first time. But, Hugh Grant, he did his thing. He was fantastic. I thought Thatcher and East were also great. Topher Grace, a little shout out to him in his limited role. I leaned over, I was like, is that Topher Grace? And I had to look it up mid-movie, and it was in fact Topher Grace, which I know he has another movie coming out here soon, dealing with a plane hijacking. But nonetheless, yeah, Heretic was awesome. I agree, it does have a good amount of replay value, even knowing the twist. Not really a twist, but knowing, the ending outcome of what the one true religion is in this guy's opinion. But even knowing that, I would definitely watch this again, because I agree there are things maybe I missed or didn't catch. I just want to see that intro again, too, to see if maybe there were empty trees that tell that it's winter.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they're wearing, they're even wearing, leggings with skirts and stuff like that, and they're magic underwear, so they're called, but, it doesn't look like winter attire.
Yeah, that's what they were. That's their normal wear. So
until we get that snowstorm and see Topher Grace trekking through it in his, his big coat, it's you wouldn't know. So that was interesting for sure, but I really like this film a lot, and it is something that I will get physically once it comes out.
All right,
for sure. So Heretic, what a film. That'll do it for Heretic. Rosie, thank you for coming on.
No problem. Thanks.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some of these other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. Any of it is appreciated, and we will talk to you all soon. Peace.
Peace and love.